Zaprvé bych rád ještě jednou pogratuloval laureátu.
First of all, I would like to congratulate again the laureate of this year's Václav Havel Prize and also to the two finalists.
Po 6 let jsem měl tu čest být členem
I have had the honor for 6 years to be the member of the international panel that selects the winner. So this is the role I used to play, and I'm very happy with the selection. About this conference, I appreciate very much the contributions, very inspiring, and we will have to think about it even later. But the title is This Unbearable Lightness of Evil, and I just thought what to think about the title. When in the Czech context you talk about the unbearable lightness, the first that comes to your mind is Milan Kundera and his unbearable lightness of being. But when I started thinking about the question, when I asked myself what is the basis of evil, I found out that the answer is not easy. When you do something wrong, it will stay on your conscience. We should not say that evil is light. And then I also thought, yes, unbearable lightness of evil means that there must be bearable lightness of evil. So what is the difference between these two types of evil, and where is the border? The first I thought about was, let us try to give a positive definition of evil. When I think about evil in politics and when I think about the 20th century, of course, we first think about the fanatic ideologists who had a vision, and in the name of the vision, they were ready to do anything to eliminate whole classes of society, put people in prison, turn them into slaves. And this is the material evil. And then those who assisted them, those who participate willingly in the creation of state structures and were ready to do the dirty job. Here, we have no difficulty to see the evil. Plus, we can add corrupted mafians and others who commit evil. And it is an evil that we can understand, but we still do not understand the lightness. When I do not know, I usually turn to my favorite thinker of the 20th century, Hannah Arendt, and she indicated the solution to me, and I would like to share it with you. She was asked in 1964 by German TV what it was like when the Nazi regime and Hitler came to power in the spring of 1933, and she was also imprisoned, but then she left for France, and she observed the birth of this new system. And she said, you know, the fact that Hitler and his Nazis are anti-Semites, we knew that. It was a warning signal for the future, but we were not surprised. What surprised us was what did not our enemies, but what our friends did, how quickly they adapted to the new situation and how quickly they were able to exist and continue living under the new regime. And here, for Arendt, the part of the definition of evil is adaptability, the willingness to adapt to the circumstances. And then she tried to give her own definition of evil, and she came up with a negative definition. Philosophers would agree that evil is the absence of the good. The evil is something negative. The evil is the absence of something. But she caused a scandal when she went to Jerusalem when Eichmann was before the court, and she expected to see a murderer. He murdered 6 million people, but all of a sudden she saw someone who did not correspond to her definition of evil. Even the psychiatrist said that Eichmann was someone who had positive ideas, that he likes order, and he also likes to boast, and he was a good bureaucrat. There was then a discussion about his positive motives. But now I would like to read how Hannah Arendt saw him when she was sitting at the bench in front of the court. He didn't show any signs of ideological convictions or evil. The only characteristics of his behavior during the process or during the investigation was something very negative. It was not the fact that he was stupid, but it was the absence of thinking. Whenever he lacked the routines, he gave the impression of somebody who is lost, and he used language composed of phrases and cliches, and it became a morbid and horrible comedy to watch. I'm quoting her because I believe that here we have a source of inspiration, and we can answer the question, what is the cause of the evil? Yesterday, Michal Žantovský said in one discussion, he tried to distinguish between the internal and external factors of the evil phenomenon. We all love to externalize evil. We try to see the factors outside. We leave out our own participation or involvement. We do sort of acrobacy to turn ourselves into the good ones. The evil is somewhere else. And we should be careful about that. I'm not talking about dictators or those who should be judged by international courts. It was the case of Eichmann, but it was a court in Israel. We should be very careful. We should be careful about this negativity of evil. The language that is used and abused today in the world, full of cliches and fake news and similar. This world lures us and attracts us, and we become also Eichmanns a little bit. To conclude, I would like to defend one concept that is currently discussed in the Czech political context. We speak about those who are not adaptable. The inadaptable in the Czech context are those who simply cannot able to adapt to the order, to the rules that are respected by all the other honest people, decent citizens. Let us remember what happened in the 30s in Germany. The citizens adapted. Maybe, had they been less adaptable, the outcome would not be as horrible as it was. And to conclude, I would like to read again Hannah Arendt when she describes Eichmann, and this is something that we should think about. The use of cliches, respecting the traditional and conventional ways of behaving. This is appreciated by society. That protects us from the reality, because reality wants us to think about what is happening to us. In other words, if we kept thinking, we would be exhausted. Eichmann was different from us because he had no idea about this necessity to think about what is surrounding us. In other words, the evil is something that we must not, the evil is something that is not the fault of the external world, of the dictators. And the message we receive today is that we need solidarity. We need solidarity with those who do not want to adapt.
A mě už nezbývá, dámy a pánové, než vám všem poděkovat za účast a za úžasnou pozornost během celé konference. Já vím, že není snadné 5 hodin skoro, jak si sledovat, jak lidé řeční, ale vy jste to dokázali obdivuhodně a asi za to patří také chvála řečníkům, že neříkali úplný blbosti. A nyní tady skončíme, ale pro ty z vás, kteří mají v plánu se zúčastnit našeho zcela výjimečného večerního koncertu Pocta statečným z děl pronásledovaných skladatelů. A bude to koncert výjimečný ve více než jednom smyslu. Během koncertu zazní také variace Bohuslav Martin na slovenskou lidovou píseň za účasti 2 solistů a jeden z nich bude hrát tady na pódiu v Praze a druhý nebo druhá bude hrát na zcela jiném pódiu v Bratislavě. Takový koncert, aspoň co já vím, vlastně se neuskutečnil ještě nikdy, takže budete možná svědky světové premiéry. Sál otevíráme znovu v 19 hodin, v 19:30 začne koncert. Přeji vám příjemný večer.
At 19 o'clock and the concert starts at 19:30. I wish you a nice evening. Thank you very much.